What's up, hockey fans? Welcome to another episode of Pod Snipe Celly. My name is Dan Bradley. Alongside me, as almost always, Joel Fernino.
What's this almost always shit mean?
You missed like one show in the past 2 years, maybe two. I gotta chirp it. But
Yeah,
look,
that's
for
fair.
once,
It's
for
been
once,
a while.
Let me throw this one out there too. Joel is not the reason that we are starting late tonight. That's me. We're a minute late, so it's like really not even all that noticeable. But yeah, it's not Joel's fault. We're starting pretty much at 7:00 tonight.
Damn right. Is it? It's never my fault. Blame Lakeshore Drive. You don't even know what that means. You're not from here.
I could rough up, 2 minutes for roughing on Lakeshore Drive traffic.
Yeah, exactly.
People not knowing how to.
But it's been a while. How's it going?
It has. It so much has happened. I feel like since our last show, and even though it really hasn't been, I mean, it's only been 2 weeks.
I know.
But I mean, we've got All-Star game, we've got trades, we've got soon-to-be trades, we've got big free agent deals. Like, there's so much that has gone on that we really a lot to talk about.
I would use the term "so much" loosely when you're talking about the All-Star game.
Well, that's
or All-Star weekend, I should say.
that's a fair point. Let's go ahead and jump right into it.
Oh,
here.
we're jumping right into it. No tangents today.
The All-Star weekend was really, I think, underwhelming to me is the best way to put it.
Wait, you have expectations for it?
Some. I have. I expect it to make sense and follow some sort of logical order. I expect that whatever they do for a presentation, that it'll actually make sense. You know what? I just thought of something. We'll get into that later.
Well,
the light bulb moment right there.
Oh, well. I mean, I'm with you. I'm going to be honest with you. I only watched like highlights of it. Mm-hmm. I watched a little bit of the game itself, which is actually a little different. I usually get into the skills competition, especially last year. Like I felt like last year's skills competition was fun. They did a lot of Vegas stuff, so I just like Vegas stuff. Like,
is part of the reason that you weren't as interested in the All-Star game this year because instead of being Patrick Kane competing in the skills competition, it was Seth Jones?
No, that is not why. Because even if it would have been Patrick Kane or last year when it was Alex DeBrincat went, like I didn't care that much. Hell, I you know what? It's not even hockey related.
I mean, you're not a big All-Star game guy, period.
Do you ever care about any All-Star weekends?
Hockey is really the only one I care about. Like, I can't remember the last time I sat down and actually watched the Pro Bowl, other than it happened to be on when I was at the bar this weekend.
Flag football. Woo.
Yeah. Kirk Cousins looks really good when there's no pads on and only like 6 defenders on the field.
Yeah, he finally won a big game.
Funny how that works.
He finally won a big game. Crazy.
Yeah, the 33-point comeback on Indy was a big game
against
Indy, but yeah.
In a meaningless game when you were already taking the NFC North.
We hadn't taken it at that point.
I guess mathematically, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were to, I've always cared about the skills competition specifically with the All-Star weekend for the NHL. But I don't know if you could guess the other like All-Star weekend thing of any sports that I actually tune in for.
For some reason, I feel like you're the type of guy who would tune in for like the dunk contest and the 3-point shooting contest in the NBA.
False. No.
MLB?
Home Run Derby.
Yeah, okay. Home Run Derby. I
like the Home Run Derby. It's kind of fun.
The Derby's fun.
Here's the thing, and this bleeds into talking about the NHL All-Star Weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't take that long. The Home Run Derby is what, maybe an hour of TV time? Maybe.
I mean, when you stretch it out with all the commercials, then it ends up running a lot longer. But
no, I'm saying even with commercials, it only goes about hour and a half, maybe.
Hour and a half. Might push to.
The NHL All-Star Weekend skills competition separate, obviously from the game since they're on separate days. Like I just saw a quote from Seth Jones. Seth Jones literally told one of the Chicago reporters, Philip Thompson, like, yeah, they could definitely tighten it up a bit. Like I don't really understand why it had to go for 3 hours.
I think part of it was just the ridiculousness of the golf integration.
Well, you know what that was to me? because I didn't actually know about those two, the golf and then the like surfboard and the dunk tank thing.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, that part actually was kind of fun to watch. I watched a little bit of that. That's fun. But like there's not really fans on those two separate ones, right? Are there?
No, for the golf, no, they didn't want
So
fans
what I'm
there because they didn't
thinking-
want people spoiling what happened.
So what I'm thinking is they just play that on the big Titantron in the stadium, and that's Sup Boys. Who's
Minnesota Wild Talk?
Who's that?
Chiming in here, Sup Boys. I'll tell you off air.
Oh, okay. Well, hello. Like I saw both of those, and while the dunk tank thing is kind of a fun idea, and I get it, you're going with the whole tropical thing because they were in Florida, but like that was trying way too hard to replicate the actually kind of cool extra things they had when they were in Vegas last year. That thing they did on the Bellagio fountain, the saucer passing from that was badass. I don't care what you tell me. That was cool.
Yeah. I don't think anybody really had a problem with that aspect of it. I think for me, like one of the weirdest parts of it was the winner of the contest for the golf contest was Nick Suzuki.
Yeah.
And he wins free Chipotle for a year.
He's in Montreal. Yes, I was going to bring that up. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
HP, I have no problem with the golf or the surfboards. It was the switching between events ESPN did.
Yes.
Okay, I wasn't watching live enough.
There was no flow to the events. Like the breakaway challenge.
This. Yes.
The breakaway challenge, it took maybe all said and done a minute and a half of the time that the skaters were actually skating. Maybe. But then you had a big long lead in where Mitch Marner rolls in like it's Miami Vice.
Oh, Miami Vice.
Or David Pasternak doing the Happy Gilmore bit. I will say, Ovi Jr.
That was
stole the show.
That was so cool
by a mile.
That was
that wasn't even close.
That was so cool, and I'm refusing to believe that was Dominik Hasek's real Twitter account that was bashing it. If you saw that, there's no check mark on it.
I'm telling you, it is. I can tell you it is. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but we won't get into that.
Dominator, you're better than that, Chief. Come on.
Yeah, HB Slam broadcast was awful. It was, and that goes back to another point where one of the most memorable moments of the broadcast was they had an audio issue with playing some pre-queued up video, which again, if you're doing it, more or less live, you're not going to run into those pre-recorded issues. But the audio got screwed up, and for some reason, the tech director's mic was open. You could hear him cuss on air because he had just made a mistake. And then there's about 5 seconds of dead air, and then they led into whatever event it was really awkwardly after that.
That's the whole problem.
It was like ESPN didn't care, the league didn't care, the players didn't care, and everybody just kind of phoned it in. To Seth Jones's point, as you brought up earlier, how long they had to sit around and wait while they were airing all those pre-televised events.
He legit
said slowed guys down for fastest skater. It took them out of rhythm for when it came time to do the hardest shot. The accuracy challenge. Wild Talk. Not sure why they don't win a cash prize for events, and the NHL doesn't match for charity. That would be one way. Well, and they do have the $1 million prize for the actual All-Star game, but for the events, absolutely have some sort of a prize there too.
I am all in favor of something, and ironically, I think the MLB used to do this. Didn't the All-Star game for the MLB determine?
It determined home field in the World Series, which not a good idea.
Why?
Because when you require a representative from every team to go play in the All-Star game, to use a football analogy, look at how bad the NFC was this year and how
I get it. I get it. I'm not suggesting we do that.
That shouldn't determine.
My point is, you need to give not only the players but the fans on TV. The All-Star event is, and I heard Mark Lazarus had this quote on his podcast.
Love Lazarus.
And so do I. I mean, I love him. That's like the Athletic podcast. It's him and Powers, Scott Powers.
Yeah.
And so he had a great point that the All-Star game or festivities plus game, just like the outdoor games, including the Winter Classic, it's fun in person. It's cool for the fans that paid their hard-earned money to go there live. On TV, outdoor games may be a little bit different here. I did still agree with them though, because like the camera angles get all wonky. They do a bunch of special shit that not every broadcast does. So I can understand people watching on TV for the outdoor games getting a little disinterested depending on those. Same thing with the All-Star game. People watching on TV, no one cares. And there's nothing at stake. Okay, cool. All these players that make millions of dollars anyway have a chance at splitting $1 million. I do like that they, the NHL does match it and goes to a charity. Keep that. Love that. The free Chipotle for Nick Suzuki. Stupid. There's no Chipotle in Montreal, as you said. Why the hell does what if Nick Suzuki's vegetarian, man? Huh? What's going to happen there?
Yeah, bean burritos. He's going to get sick of them real quick.
That's why, it's like, who cares? Hell, and I'm telling you this, dude, the players don't give a shit either. They phone it in during the games. They don't care. They're splitting money, but they don't care. They need something to play for.
This is a really good point here again from Minnesota Wild Talk. It's hard to make players care about an event with no benefit when they have a team that needs them to not screw themselves up and play the rest of the year.
Totally agree.
And that's part of the one thing that I'll give the NFL a lot of credit for, waiting for the season to be done before doing the All-Star game. Because why chance yourself getting hurt in a meaningless exhibition, especially when you've got basically half a season left plus playoffs? When they were doing the fastest skater competition, Cale Makar wiped out. He toe picked while he was doing a crossover behind the net and wiped out. And thankfully they had padding in the corner to kind of cushion, because especially when you're going for that kind of speed, sometimes it's that little bit of finesse that can really throw you all out of whack. So they had all the padding set up, and he slid into the padding and got up and was fine. But every single Avs fan had their heart fall into their stomach seeing Makar wipe out like that. If he's gone because he blew a tire and fastest skater, hurt himself and is done for the year, like that sucks.
Yeah, and they're already in trouble.
And they're already a team that is and they're coming back. That if they get healthy. Yep, Byram is back tonight.
So is
Landeskog is not back yet.
No,
but
it's
he's
someone else
soon.
that's pretty. Oh God, what the hell is his
name?
One
of the defensemen?
No, actually, wait. Is Valerian Nichushkin still on the Avs?
Yeah.
So I think it was him and Byram coming back tonight. I just saw an NHL Network little ticker.
Yeah,
so it's Nichushkin and Byram are back tonight. That's huge. That helps. But it doesn't help anything if Cale Makar wipes out in the friggin' All-Star game.
So again, it's one thing to have it be meaningful, but baseball works because the baseball All-Star game, you're not really trying that hard there either. But it's still enough that it's a pretty competitive game for the most part. You're still trying in the home run derby. Because also the risk of injury isn't nearly as high there as it could be.
I was about to say, no offense to baseball players, but the risk of injury in an exhibition game like that is way the hell lower than it is in a hockey game or a football game or even a basketball game. But the other thing too, you mentioned, you brought up the fastest skater. Seth Jones brought it up, saying when they were, I forgot who he said was, because they did multiple runs, obviously.
Yeah.
And I forgot who he said they kept switching back and forth on the broadcast. He said, whoever it was, I can't remember who he said it was, literally waited almost an hour in between runs. So he cooled back off, and that's how you cramp up.
That's how you get hurt.
Run. That's how you get hurt.
Yeah, you need to do it. Good. You need to do it right away. And the breaking up of all of the events, because it wasn't just that one. It was the breakaway challenge that they broke up. It was fastest skater that they broke up. It was the golf challenge that they broke up. It was the shooting the water bottles or shooting the pucks at the boards in the dunk tank.
Yeah.
All of there was no flow to it. There was no cohesion.
I don't understand where that came from either, because it always used to be it's one by one by one by one, and not everybody competes in every one of them. And you even last year, when they did the special events with the I forgot what the other one was. It was like a roulette thing or something.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a blackjack thing.
Yeah, blackjack.
It was like a blackjack shooting thing, and then obviously they had the Bellagio fountain. Even with those, it was still one by one by one. There was not an event going on at the same time.
And like from a TV side of things too, like how easy is it to say, 7:00 Eastern opening ceremonies, 7:15 breakaway challenge, 7:30 hardest shot, 7:45 fastest skater, 8:00 golf, 8:30 the surfboard shot.
Yeah,
like you can time that out and have it be so regimented, and then everybody knows exactly too when you're going to tune in and watch. Like because people aren't going to watch the whole thing.
I used to
they're not.
No, but I really did used to try like hell to tune into, at the very least, the skills competition, because that was that was kind of the flow of things. They didn't completely overcomplicate it. Even last year wasn't overcomplicated. They added some crazy stuff, but it was still simple in its flow. And I gotta tell you, man, that breakaway challenge this year was absolute shit.
It was lame. It was boring.
Happy Gilmore is one of my favorite comedies. Oh, hold on. Wild Talk coming back in. Someone in production got fired. Of course they did.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I wish I remember who it was. Somebody on Twitter brought up this point, and I am not taking credit for it because it's a really good point that I wish I thought of and didn't. Like ESPN carried that nationally.
Yeah.
So odds are that was somebody's first exposure to hockey. Just tuning in and happened to be flipping through on ESPN, and they're like, "Oh, what's this? This hockey."
You mean
and
like
that was their first exposure to hockey?
You mean like
they're never coming back to watch?
First exposure to hockey, like, so you mean half the staff at ESPN doing hockey?
No comment.
I mean, look, it would be silly. They just need to simplify things back up again. That breakaway challenge thing, it used to be so cool. It was always it was never.
PK Subban came out with the mullet and did the Yager salute after scoring because Yager was there. That is the type of stuff we need, not this bring out a march. Like even last year, Trevor Zegras with the dodgeball and
Trevor Zegras dodgeball. Oh, that was stupid. That was because
he did the blindfold thing.
Yeah,
and then the winner is Alex Pietrangelo, who brought out a marching band, took a slap shot, and missed the net.
Right. Hell,
also
arguably
got what they deserved for not giving Zegras that win.
Alex DeBrincat too, with his his hangover parody thing coming out as with Carlos. That's funny, and I love Pasternak's Happy Gilmore thing. It's my favorite comedy. Loved that. All he did was miss a putt and then putt in the puck afterwards. Whatever. Like Sarah Nurse's goal was the coolest one. And don't even get me started.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet.
Don't even get me started on the people that were, why are you including women in this thing? Oh my God. Settle down.
Don't feed the trolls.
It's fun to bash them because they sound so stupid.
Needs to be at every All-Star game.
Of course he does.
Yep.
He wasn't even he didn't even get voted to the All-Star game. They literally brought him in for fun.
Don't care if he was voted or not. Yeah.
Exactly. That's the best part.
so many of the NHL stars have come through the game, and from every level, it's all about the team. It's not about you. You're not allowed to have personality, and you're just, the nickname of Captain Serious for Jonathan Toews. Like that's what hockey players are taught to be at pretty much every level of the game. So when you have guys who have personality, like you need to capture that. You need to push that. And
marketing.
They don't. Easy. Yeah. We need more John Scotts at the All-Star game.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yes. We need more John Scott at the All-Star game.
Yeah, that was so MVP. Everybody tuned in to watch John Scott that year.
And I love how Bettman hated it.
Oh, he did. He tried to force the team to trade John Scott so that he couldn't play.
I know.
And he did.
I have a curveball to throw at you. You didn't think I was going to mention this coming out of the All-Star break.
You're right. I probably didn't.
Some of the biggest headlines that came out of the All-Star break, which there aren't many, I think that's why this was a big headline, were Sidney Crosby's comments about the playoff format.
Yep.
How he's willing to, he kind of misses the whole 1-8 thing that they used to do back, when did that switch? That switch in 2014, right? I think it was 2014 they stopped doing that. 2013, actually, maybe. No, it was 2014. But my curveball at you coming out of that. What do you prefer?
1 through 8.
You do? Flat out?
Yeah, flat out 1 through 8.
It's funny you say that though, because like I was listening to another podcast where we were talking about this. I guess like there are a lot of like Toronto fans that like were bashing it on Twitter, like that idea.
Well, of course, because Toronto is mad because that system doesn't let them get out of the first round.
But what's funny, and you could look this up,
but really it's Toronto that can't get Toronto out of the first round.
No, exactly. But what's funny about it is if they were to do 1 to 8 this year, if you do the math right now,
they like still it wouldn't change.
It wouldn't. They still play the Lightning. Yeah. Four is playing 5 regardless. Like
another great comment here from Wild Talk. The 2019 National Team Development Program team is electric and getting paid. Got that right. That squad was incredible. Joel, you look confused. Are you trying to think of who all was on that team?
I
have it up. I called it up so I can read off these names and get your reaction here.
Yeah, go ahead.
We'll just throw a few out here. Cam York.
Okay.
Jeff Hughes.
Oh my God.
Matt Boldy.
Okay.
Trevor Zegras.
I was about to say I know Zegras was there.
Cole Caulfield.
Oh my God.
John Beecher. Alex Turcotte.
Okay.
Bobby Brink. Spencer Knight.
No.
Just throwing some names out here.
Yeah.
That was one of the best national team development programs that they've put together. That was a heck of a squad.
I mean, that's fair. Oh, back to the playoff thing.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have
How about
some
this
fun
one?
Here. So this Wild Talk, you're kind of reading my mind a little bit. 1 to 16, you get crossover. Now, add one more tidbit to that. This would be hilarious, but I think it would be like people would tune in for this.
You
either do 1 to 16, or you do 1 to 16, and the top seeds get to pick who they play first.
I wouldn't hate that.
Like,
because like you think about it, like think back a couple years ago, like when the Lightning were like 62 wins and just ran away in the regular season with the Eastern Conference,
swept by Columbus,
and got swept by Columbus because the Lightning were hurt and they were really banged up, and Columbus was coming in hot.
Don't make excuses.
No, I'm just saying. Like, don't get me wrong. Columbus played very well. They earned that entire series. Mm-hmm. Outplayed them the whole way. By the way, you got a yes.
Yeah, I'm here for it. The drama that would create WWE type drama, because you would get
the rivalries too.
Well, because literally you would have a team like sitting there being like, "Excuse me, why are you picking us? What the fuck is that?" Like. So that would just, and then that fire that would light under whatever team's ass that got picked. I don't know. I was thinking about it. Apparently we don't have, I wanted to go on a tangent about it, but imagine the motivation. Exactly. Yes. That's what I'm saying. Like that would be awesome. That would be so cool.
Yeah. I like that playoff format better. I think especially knowing that like 16 teams get in, that's half the league,
and I'm fine with that too. That was the other thing.
I am for hockey because revenue-wise, hockey is so far behind each of the big 3 North American sports.
What was the tweet you sent me just recently? I had
about hockey revenue.
Not revenue specifically, the ratings.
The TV ratings are down and. Attendance, TV viewing audience is down,
right?
Which in turn leads to loss of revenue. We'll get to that in 2 minutes for roughing.
Oh, okay, that's a good tease.
Yeah,
we
call that a tease in the business.
Business professionalism. Business. Exactly. I'm not professional. What the hell are you talking about?
Sure you are. We're professional jokesters.
Yes.
That's about the best way we can put it. Speaking of jokesters, the Vancouver Canucks Canucks sending Bo Horvat to the New York Islanders. And it didn't take long after that before Horvat signed an 8 by $8.5 million extension. Joel, first give me your reaction to the trade. Because we had been teasing for a couple episodes, like Horvat's getting traded. It's only a matter of time. Where's he going to go?
Joel Stradamus
did not have the Islanders on my radar.
Joel Stradamus has made a return. I didn't say he'd go to the Islanders, but I did. Maybe did I? I didn't. No. He wasn't.
I would have remembered. I would have texted you right away.
No, but I did. I did say he would be the first major trade piece to fall this season, and he was. Not that was exactly hard to guarantee,
but we kind of figured it was either Horvat is going to set the market or Timo Meier is going to set the market. One of those two.
I never agreed with that. I thought it was always going to be Horvat. Hell, but also from Vancouver's perspective too. But the trade, it's weird to me because the Islanders right now, like that's not just going to completely take them out of, rebuild type mode. It's not going to, that's like getting Bo Horvat is great and locking him up for 8 years is great. He's having a career year, but that doesn't put you into the playoffs automatically. Like that's not going to change your trajectory that much.
Here's what I think. There are two really, really big ways that this helps the Islanders. One is, you can count on Horvat to be like your scorer now when you are not getting the punch that you need from Anders Lee, when you're not getting it from Brock Nelson. And, love Matt Barzal. He's not a goal-scoring player. Like, that's not his role. His job is not, I'm going to go score 40 goals this season.
Yeah. I'm going to get 40 assists.
Right. His job is I'm going to be the setup guy, and I'm going to put guys in good positions to score, and I'm going to feed him the puck. But, Horvat is a guy who can go out and do that, and he can go win you, he can go score those goals and win you games. And especially, I think you can put Horvat on the wing on the power play, and that will open up the offense on the power play for the Islanders, which, for years now, the Islanders have been a team that, we're going to beat the brakes off you and win 2-1 because our defense and goaltending is that good. Mm-hmm. Now they get someone who can kind of ease up some of that pressure on the defense and make things easier on Ilya Sorokin and net. Yeah. I would not be surprised if they tried to find a way to move Semyon Varlamov for a cheaper backup for this year, and someone that they could potentially get under contract for the next couple of years as well. Or recoup some of that draft capital there if the Islanders aren't going to make it back this year. But one big problem too is Horvat, 27, locked up long-term. You got some guys that you're going to need to sign. Ilya Sorokin is only signed through next season. Looking ahead
and you can't lose him. You lose him. What the hell did you trade for Bo Horvat for?
Right. What is the point?
Right.
But now, looking that far ahead, who are the guys that you have under contract then? He'll be a UFA for the 24-25 season. You've still got Barzal, Anders Lee will be 34 at that point. Brock Nelson will be 33. Pajot will be 32. Palmieri will be 34.
God,
Horvat will be 29. Cizikas will be 33. Ross Johnston will be 30. Kulak will be 30. Pellick will be 30. You got a lot of guys that are going to be at or above the wrong side of 30, making a lot of money, and you're going to have to sign Sorokin. There's going to need to be other pieces that move here. It's a weird fit for me.
Yeah, my other thought too, isn't it such a hockey player move to not even play one game for the team you just got traded to and just sign the rest of your career away with that team? You haven't even touched the ice yet.
Yeah, but I mean, you also know it's nice to be wanted. You don't have to worry about, hey, where am I going to play next? I've got my deal signed. I'm here. I'm in. Let's go win games. The other thing that this really does for the Islanders too, Horvat has been really good in the faceoff dot.
Oh yeah. One of the top, I think, like, top 10 in the league, right?
This year in particular, let me get the numbers up here. He was 56% in the dot with Vancouver this season, and put up 57 or better in 2 of the past 3 seasons before that.
What was that good for?
What do you mean?
I mean, like, what number was he in the?
Oh, I didn't pull up the league numbers. I just pulled up his individual numbers. But you can go ahead and look that one up. But for a team that so heavily leans on possession, on control of the puck, having someone who is going to win 57% of your faceoffs is huge. And not only that, but looking across the entire Islanders roster, this is a team that now really can take control of the faceoff dot the way that, like, that's how they want to play. As a team this season, the Islanders are, let me find them here. Islanders are mid. They're 15th, 50.3% before the arrival of Horvat. That's going to go up down the stretch. By the way, any idea who the number 1 team in the league is in the faceoff dot?
I mean, might it be us because of Jonathan Toews?
It is 100% the Chicago Blackhawks, and it is because of Jonathan Toews.
Because Jonathan Toews
is having in the faceoff dot. He's like 60-something percent. It's insane.
I have it right now. He is 63-3.
Yeah.
He's only behind now. This must be very recent. Teuvo Teravainen, who is at 63-6.
Yeah, but Teravainen doesn't take anywhere near as many faceoffs as Toews does.
Exactly.
So there's that. Joey would come here. Islanders need a guy who scores goals. They have a lot of guys that are great depth scoring. He will make those guys better in results as well. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think it's a good get. Like, that's, I'm not going to sit here and be like, why the hell did you do that? Like, great. It's a great get. It's just.
They also didn't overpay. They didn't because.
What they lose again?
The offer that they sent, it's like, okay, that's a bit of a steep price for a rental, but also if you're going to sign him long term, that's not a whole lot to give up.
It's not a gamble because you got your guy.
Right.
So first rounder this year.
Yep, conditional first round pick for this year.
What's that condition?
And then they got Anthony Beauvillier, who, when Playoff Bo shows up, Playoff Bo is hard to beat. It's just getting them to do that in the regular season that has been,
and then
kind of streaky.
That highly touted prospect, I can't say his name.
Atu Ratia.
There you go.
You're welcome. Trust the broadcast guy who studies pronunciations.
Yes, that's all you. You could have put that in front of me, and I would have gotten it wrong.
Yeah. Well, and then you hear the pronunciation, and then it's like, well, how do you spell that? And you could try 40 different ways, and you might not come up with it.
ATT. Wait, say it again. No, we're gonna do this.
Atu Ratia.
Bless you.
This guy.
Say his first name really quick. Go ahead.
Atu.
Mm-hmm. Attieu. Fuck. All right. How bad I do there?
Aatu.
For God's sake. All right. What was his last name?
Ratia.
Ratia. R-A-T-T-I-A?
No.
Damn it. Was I closer on that one?
No.
Oh, all right.
R-A-T-U, and the A has an umlaut.
Okay, come on! This
is thoroughly entertaining.
It's fake. It's fake. It's a fake name.
Troll coming in hot with the F-bombs tonight is the comment from Joey that for some reason I can't.
Uh-oh. We just lost Dan. Well, now you're stuck with me. That's okay, though. To kind of button up things with Bo Horvat, I mean, well, yeah, where'd you go?
I don't know what happened there. I was trying to pull up Joey's comment here. Joel coming in hot with
hey, wait, how many F-bombs have I dropped? Oh, wait, do you mean fake? I've only dropped.
I didn't die. It's not a solo cast. We're okay.
Solo cast. The fans are calling for the Joel cast.
Okay, I'll give the people what they want. Joel,
okay, well, wait a minute.
Not that one.
Was you. You're literally controlling the ticker thingy. Solo cast. Hell yeah. You know what? I just want to let it be known that there is a Minnesota Wild fan rooting for a Blackhawks fan to do a solo cast. Dan, I hope you are a little dead inside after hearing that fact.
Not at all. In fact, I would be willing to bet that Minnesota Wild Talk is actually cheering for the Blackhawks for the rest of the season, much like I am.
No. Tonight I am a nice Mighty Ducks fan.
Well, I bet you are, and I bet last night you were a big Arizona Coyotes fan. against the Minnesota Wild. So,
do you know I saw a very funny tweet today, but by like an actual legitimate, I don't remember their name, but they did have a check mark. It wasn't just some like random user.
Mm-hmm.
I saw something about, so are we going to talk about the potential Austin Matthews to Chicago in 2024 prospect?
He's not going to Chicago.
I was like, where did this come from?
Yeah, he's going to the desert. We all know this.
Oh yeah, of course he is.
It is known.
It is known. He ain't. Yeah, he's not going to. That's a good segue into a quick. Before we get to there's another signing. I guess we can get through that really quick.
Yeah,
that happened today. Literally today.
Let's go ahead and talk that one. Sabres signing Dylan Cozens to a 7-year, $49 million extension. So $7 million is the
7 by 7
average.
The good old value.
7.1.
I actually forgot to mention. I actually really wish I would have thought of this when you dipped out and nobody was here but me. Back to the Bo Horvat thing really quick. Did you hear Lou Lamoriello's comment on it?
No, I did not.
Yeah, So how do you feel about the contract for Bo Horvat? He just goes, I don't know, probably too long and too much money.
Yeah.
They were
quite possibly.
He will be 88 years old when Bo Horvat's contract is up.
Comment here. He can thank Boldy. Yeah, Boldy's 7 by 7 extension and Cozens 7 by 7.1 extension.
It's the market. I don't think
that's what the market is right now. And you look at the numbers this year for Cozens: 49 games, 43 points, 17 goals, 26 assists, 14 power play points.
It's so weird to me that that's a 7 by 7 player now.
I mean, it is when that's a 21-year-old.
Yeah, no, I get that. Mm-hmm. It's a 21-year-old. Also, again, it's the market.
It is.
The salary cap has gone up. While we have talked about revenue not being so hot and viewership not being so hot, at the exact same time, the NHL is as hot as it's ever been in a way.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's like there's still a hell of a long way to go.
Mm.
But I mean, as much as we hate it, the ESPN deal definitely helped.
It didn't.
I think it. I mean, it does exposure wise. There was already exposure on NBC. Obviously, there's we got TNT obviously, which is great. Exposure wise, ESPN is good. Take everything else out of it. ESPN is a good partnership.
I'm looking at the Sabres cap situation here. Like, they're in such a good spot right now, organizationally.
Can we just agree?
For this year, for next year, and then they have to sign Dahlin, Jokiharju, Owen Power, all three of those guys in the same offseason.
This year or next year?
It's following next season.
Okay.
Dahlin, Jokiharju, and Power, all restricted free agents in some capacity.
Restricted.
Okay. So they could potentially get offer sheeted, but my goodness, can you imagine?
I think the odd man out of that group is Jokiharju.
I think so too. I without
come back to the Hawks.
You have number one picks.
Come back here. Undo the bullshit that Stan Bowman did.
Yeah. Okay.
Jay, man.
Pair him with Alex Vlasic and.
Are we? Can we just
Danton Matejchuk and
by
Sam
then
Rinzel.
by that time Kevin Korchinski.
Or that's what I was trying to come up with, Korchinski.
Can we just agree? If there's anybody out there who's not rooting for the Sabres, I'm going to question you as a human being.
Unless
Maybe unless you're a Rangers fan, fine.
Unless your hockey allegiance specifically requires you to root against the Sabres.
What is that? What's like the Sabres' big rival outside of the Rangers because they're in the same state?
The Dallas Stars.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
99 Stanley Cup. Madonna was his foot in the crease.
It was in 1999.
Yeah, you think Sabres fans are over it?
Yeah, you know what? I'm not surprised hearing that from you. I mean, you still
I'm just saying, like,
you still can't get over the damn Viking Saints thing. Anyway.
Well, yeah, it's you want to turn this into a football show? We can lay into that one.
We'll do that. Well, the next
I hope the Denver Broncos go 0-17 next season, so Sean Payton doesn't win another football game.
I mean, I'd be okay with that.
That's where I'm at.
I'd be okay with that. I'm going to lean into Joey's thing. I'm okay with that because fuck Russell Wilson. Anyway,
Broncos country, let's ride.
Broncos country, let's cry. I mean, yeah, dude. I think the Sabres are like the darling of the league this year. I hope they make the playoffs,
man. They're a fun team.
Yeah.
Like, Sabres hockey is fun right now. And yeah, you don't know on any given night what sort of Sabres team is going to show up. They still got to work on the consistency. They're a very young team, but they are a very fun team.
Thing is nobody expected shit from them this year, and they are blowing those low expectations out of the water. So, also, they have
11 players in their lineup who are age 24 or under. Yeah. Also, that didn't even count goalies, but I know one of them is Craig Anderson, who's 41.
I mean, they've been rebuilding. They would be considered. What we talked about this Bronco country fucking bye.
I knew that would get you.
That's good. I like that. I mean, we talked about this, I think, at one of our first episodes of this season. Like, the Sabres are like maybe 1 to 2 years behind the Red Wings when it came to like rebuild time frame.
Mm-hmm.
The Red Wings are like ready to make the playoffs, except
you would think, but right now Buffalo's ahead of them.
I know, exactly. They were 1 to 2 years behind them, and yet Buffalo is hell. They're 1 point behind the Islanders, and there's the race of like, can Washington and Pittsburgh stay in? Do they get passed by Buffalo or even the Islanders?
Both of those clubs
do the Islanders shut my mouth and me saying I don't think that Bo Horvat's going to put them into the playoffs? But I mean, based on that division, I don't know.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Ooh,
so, scale of 1 to 10, how mad would you be if the Blackhawks do not get Connor Bedard in the draft this year?
Mad?
Scale of 1 to 10.
Mad, like a 3.
How mad would you be if he goes to the Pittsburgh Penguins, who just barely missed the playoffs, and they get to go from Mario to Sid to Connor Bedard?
Mad? All right, so it's a loaded question. Mad for the first one.
Mm-hmm.
For not us not getting him. Actually, feeling anger of not getting him. Yeah, like a 3, maybe a 4. It's low. Sad, 12.
Okay.
Depressed, 12,000. But now in this case, what you just said, that scenario, that anger, absolutely like a 8 or a 9. Because screw you, you are not rebuilding. And to me, even though it's not like a direct rival, because I'm going to make a comparison.
Good point here. They can't like miss the playoffs by like a game. They'd have to miss by a bit because they can only move up so many spots.
The anger would be there. That to me would be not on par, but it's starting to be into the conversation of like how us as Bears fans or you as Vikings fans are pissed off that the Packers went straight from Favre to Rodgers.
You know what, though?
That's not fair.
They've had just about 35 straight years of Hall of Fame level quarterback play, 30 years.
And only 3 Super Bowls to show for it.
Appearances. Favre only won 1. Rodgers only has 1.
Favre won 2, I thought.
No.
Oh.
Just the 1.
Oh. Really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, either way, it's not up there because the Penguins aren't like a rival or anything, but yeah, that would piss me off. Maybe not an 8 or a 9, maybe like a 7 or an 8. But but the
Super Bowl champion
levels,
in '96 for Favre. That was his only one.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, yeah. But even still, we're Minnesota Wild talk. Also, Joel, say they lose out on Bedard. Who would you want? Oh, Fantilli all day. And I think I'm really. It's weird because I'm sitting here going like I'm really scared that we're not going to get Bedard. But for some reason, I'm like sitting here like, you know what though? I think we get second overall at the very worst. I don't know how I have that confidence, and there's no backing of that. I just think we get second overall.
I need Chicago to pick like 7th.
Hey, I've been waiting to say this comment, and now it's natural. I didn't have to bring it out of the blue. As much as you're gonna hate it, when the Blackhawks are good, it's good for business. Just like when the Rangers are good, it's good for business. When the Maple Leafs are good, yes, from a market, of course, that's what I'm saying. When top sports markets are good,
here we go.
It is good for business. That's all I'm saying.
We're going to move into Wednesday night picks. Joel, you had a 4-1 go last week, and the one that you missed, I guess 2 weeks ago now, but last show, the one that you missed was you picked the Edmonton Oilers to cover at -2.5.
I knew that was a long shot.
And you said it. You knew it was a long shot. You said smart money is Columbus +2.5. Columbus won that game outright.
Exactly.
Which that alone, made me feel better about it. Hurricanes beat Dallas in overtime. And the other one, give me a second here. The other one was Islanders and Senators, where you took the Senators at home, and I said, I'm going to pick the Islanders because I hate myself and I'm committed to getting this one wrong. And sure enough, I did. So you see the season numbers there. Joel, one back of 500 for the season, but cleared his 70th win on Wednesday night picks. So he's the first to 70. Now the question is who's going to be the first to 80, and the quest for that one starts tonight. I guess rather tomorrow night, but got to get the picks in tonight. Starting with the first game of the night, Minnesota Wild. Let me get that down and fix something here quick.
I saw that typo. I saw it. Everyone judge him right now.
Delete the error quick enough, and nobody notices it was there.
That plus and that parenthesis were switched. I saw it.
No, false. There was no parenthesis. That was the problem.
Oh. Well.
Minnesota Wild +115 at the Dallas Stars -135.
Actually, that's a nice little Central Division battle right there. 1 versus 3. It's pretty cool.
I'm just going to go ahead and do a little something for the fans here, so you can talk. But just give me a moment here so that I can put this up.
All right. Well, what are we putting up? I can't see. FNG first NHL game. Yeah, I don't.
Wild fans, if you know, you know.
What the hell, dude? This isn't just a Minnesota show. What the hell? Also, FNG means fucking new guy. Yes.
Well, you got the first one right.
What?
You got the F right. That's what that stands for.
It means it's new guy is the yeah.
Nope, it's not new guy.
It's definitely new guy.
It's Norm Green.
Oh. Who's Norm Green?
Oh, Joel.
Is this a Minnesota dude?
No, well, kind of.
Does he apologize for everything and have a weird, odd Canadian accent like every other person?
He's the owner who moved the North Stars to Dallas.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I remember. I mean, that was kid. Hey, he moved him to one of the biggest markets in sports, so I think he did the right thing.
Minneapolis St. Paul is one of the biggest markets.
In sports? No, in hockey. Sure.
In both.
No, it's not.
They're a top 20 TV market.
Top 20, right? Oh no, top 20.
MSP. What is the MSP TV market?
It's in the top 15.
Yeah, top 15 TV market.
Okay, top 15. Dallas is in the top 5.
So I'm just saying, you didn't have to move from top 15 to top 5. That's not as big a jump.
That's a pretty big jump. Would you rather? Let's talk in the draft. Would you rather pick 15th or 5th?
Depends. Did the Hawks screw it up at 5?
We don't screw up draft picks that often.
Okay.
I said that often. No,
okay.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Hold on.
We got to get to this pick.
No.
Look at the time. We got to get to this pick.
Dallas. Anyway, now we trade away the good picks. That's what we do. Well, now that
you know what, there might be some truth to that.
Now that Stan Bowman's gone, hopefully we don't do that, but that's what we usually do. Now, no, you just trade them. Exactly. Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Well, past tense. Stan Bowman is gone. Thank God. Now, what I was getting to, Minnesota is 5-4-1 on their last 10. But Dallas is 4-2-4 in their last 10. So both of you not really the best. It's not bad either. It's pretty mid, quite frankly. Mm-hmm. But Dallas at home is 14-5. Meanwhile, you guys on the road are 12-10. And sorry, I'm included 14-5-6 for Dallas at home, while you guys are 12-10-3 on the road. I'm going with the home team here. I got to go Dallas.
As much as it pains me to say it,
you're going to go with the Wild. Don't try and fake me out here.
No, I really
bullshit.
I'm taking Dallas.
Wow. That might be the first time you've ever picked against the Wild.
It's the second time in the history of the show that I have picked against the Wild.
Who were they playing before that you picked?
I don't know. It was last season. I know that much.
So it was Colorado.
Maybe. Might have been. But here's where I'm at with the Wild. This team has scored 5 or it's either 8 or 10 5-on-5 goals in their last 10 games. That's not a way to win hockey games. The Wild took 6 penalties last night against Arizona, a team who is actively trying to lose.
Are they?
Yeah, they are.
Are they?
The players won't tell you they are. The organization will tell you they are.
Well,
it's that simple. And you go out, coming out of the All-Star break, no less, a team that you are supposed to be a playoff contender. And looking at their schedule for the rest of this month, like, it does not get any easier. This was a game that Minnesota was absolutely supposed to win and didn't. Because coming down the pipe, you've got Dallas tomorrow. You've got Vegas on Thursday. So you've got your back-to-back going there. The rest of this month, Devils, Panthers, Avalanche, Stars, Predators, Kings, Blue Jackets, Maple Leafs, Blue Jackets, Islanders. Arizona was a game that you needed to win to get some points this month and try and keep pace, because that is a tough schedule the rest of the way here. And that can be the difference between, are you a buyer or a seller come trade deadline time? Are you potentially looking to move off and recoup some assets?
Hold on.
What?
Hold on.
What?
You are not going to be sellers at the deadline.
Maybe.
No, why? You're third in the Central.
They are now, but you keep losing those games, giving them away. You've got Colorado 1 point back. You've got Nashville 3 points back. You've got Calgary even with you, and Calgary is 5th in the Pacific.
Overreaction Dan is back.
Literally, you fall 2 points behind Colorado.
What are you going to? I'm sorry. What are you going to sell? What are you going to sell at the deadline? Take me down this road. What are you going to sell?
There's any number of pieces that.
No. I want to go. I want to go down this road. We got plenty of time. What are you going to sell?
You could sell off, I don't know, maybe you could go Fleury, you could go Dumba, you could go Goligoski. There has been rumors of Addison. You could sell off Brandon Duhaime. You could sell off Jordan Greenway.
What are you getting back for any of them that's actually
You're recouping draft capital is what you're doing, and you're giving Judd Brackett draft capital, which Brackett has shown he knows what he's doing come draft day. Yeah, MN Wild Talk saying the Wild are sellers. HP saying sell Dumba anyway.
No offense to the Minnesota fans that I have never met, but full offense to the ones I do know. You guys are you are the biggest woe is me fan base in the league. So
this isn't even fucking woe is me.
You dropped an F-bomb.
I did, and you deserved it. I did, and you deserved it.
I love this. I got him to drop an F-bomb. I'm the one that swears on this show. So you're picking.
If
So
I hadn't been in a meeting with my hockey boys right before this, might not have happened. It did. What a time to be alive.
Hey.
I'm picking Dallas. Next game, Vancouver Canucks plus 1.5, minus 120.
I got you heated.
New York Rangers minus 1.5 goals, plus 100. Joel, do the Canucks have a chance at covering this one?
No. Absolutely not. The Rangers came out swinging to
going back to Wild Trade talk for just
Greenway,
a minute.
Hartman, Dumba, Goose. That was Goose. Dewey, one or two, Freddie, Evis. I have no idea who any of them are other than Greenway, Hartman, and Dumba.
Watch more Wild hockey.
Why would I do that?
Better than the Hawks.
No, I can at least watch the Hawks while Patrick.
This guy says we're not better than the Hawks and that we don't need to be traders?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
We don't need to sell?
No, I meant better than what you meant better than watching the Hawks. No, it's not.
Oh, absolutely it is.
For not for somebody in Chicago. Anyway.
Okay, guy. Okay.
The Rangers came out swinging last night after the break and won in overtime by potential future Blackhawk Alexis Lafreniere.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, man, that's starting to gain some traction. That's all I'm saying.
What?
Smoke, where there's smoke, there's pretty much.
Oh, there's plenty of smoke, all right, if you think you're getting Lafreniere. And that's about the laugh you'll be doing with all that smoking, too.
For the record, I hope they don't get traded. But anyway, I have an update on that before your 2 minutes for roughing. But,
okay.
Yeah, the Rangers are good. I mean, again, we just talked about it. Vancouver just lost arguably their best player. If not their best, their second best, most likely.
Yep. Horvat's gone. Besser. I'd put Pettersson ahead when Horvat was there, but clearly Pettersson now.
Right, exactly. So
Besser has 1 foot out the door too.
Right, exactly. So, Rangers are 6-2-2 in their last 10, but again, we're not really talking recency because it's not a new season, but like you just got a break. You just got like a nice few days off. The All-Star break kind of changes things, and I think it puts things into perspective. That's why the Rangers looked so good last night.
Mm.
Yeah, absolutely the Rangers. Though I'm not going to say they're going to blow them out 6-1 or something like that, but I could see a 4-1, 4-2, 3-0 maybe. Maybe Shesterkin get Pots a shutout tomorrow night. No, I'm gonna call it.
Wouldn't hate it. He's calling it.
I'm calling it. I am calling a Shesterkin shutout tomorrow night.
This is me pointing out to center field, calling the shot.
Should I bet on it though? I don't know how I feel about it. Shutouts are hard, man.
They are.
You go ahead and pick. I'm going to check how.
I'm with you here. I'm taking Rangers on the puck line tomorrow night. Plus 100 is good value there too. Canucks really on the downswing. Kind of in a race to the bottom, and Rangers fighting for a playoff spot. So with neither of those teams in action tonight, both teams coming in fresh, I would think there's a lot of reasons for the Rangers to be, pushing on a 2-game win streak, trying to hold serve. They've got Washington and Pittsburgh and the Islanders close behind them. They're trying to get ahead of New Jersey, which I really hope that's the first round playoff series is the Devils and the Rangers.
Oh my God. You want to talk about good for market or good for the market. Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Yep. That's a great one. So,
I mean, can we try and top last year's playoffs? Because last year's
were nuts.
Had some good stuff, man.
Last year's were sweet. So yeah, both taking the Rangers, both taking the Dallas Stars. So we're being boring. We're picking home teams in both games. We're picking the same picks. So whatever happens in the standings, no movement.
Right. So before you get to 2 minutes for roughing.
Okay.
For any of the Hawks fans listening, so probably just
make it quick.
Hey, get your ass out of here. Make it quick.
I got another show coming up I got to do.
So do I. There has been an update on the Taves and Kane saga. And so far they have come out, they have talked. I know they've talked with their agent Pat Brisson. It basically, I can sum it all up. It sounds like at least 88 is going to be giving the Blackhawks a short list of teams, plural, potentially. That's not to say, so it's not just going to be like a single destination type thing. But again, nothing has been decided on if he's even going to waive the no trade clause. Same thing for Taves. They both have come out and said probably look around like 7 to 10 days before the deadline, if not even closer to the deadline for them to make a final decision on if they're willing to waive their no movement clauses. So basically, to sum it up, as much time as we've had to prepare here in Chicago, I have to say, I'm not ready. You might see me cry live on our episode for the update is there is no. That's actually a very good update. Get out of here, HP. Go back to your mid wild team. I hope they're both marooned there for the. You know what? I'm cool if they stay. Actually,
it's amazing how the tide has turned from the beginning of the season where it was, well, there's no doubt Kane is going to get a much bigger return than Taves. But I think right now, Taves is the more appealing option, just based on the season he's having.
It's not even based on that. The update there is that it's because Kane is playing with an apparent injury.
That too, but even healthy.
Get the hell out of here.
Well, here's what I'm saying. Even healthy, before he got hurt this season, he was underperforming.
He didn't get hurt this season. He's been hurt since last season.
Then why was he starting the season at all? Should have done something to deal with it then.
That's the thing.
He could come back, get healthy, and get.
Because the team's not going anywhere. Why?
Why have him play and risk further injury then if he's hurt?
That's how he is, man. He plays through it. That's the reports I heard out of the All-Star. The reports I heard from Mark Lazarus out of the All-Star game, he got to talking to a lot of the people out there, was, man, like some of the players saying like it's crazy to see the injury he's playing through, but he's playing through it.
If he's really been playing through injuries since last season.
Oh, so now you think he's lying. Oh, okay.
No, I'm just saying, if he really has been, he's an idiot for playing this season. He really is. Because what happens if you get hurt worse and then you're not playing next year and your career is over?
They're hockey players. If it's not a career-threatening injury, but it's playing through something. It could be
what happens if you get hurt worse. And then suddenly you can't skate anymore. You can't stick handle anymore.
See, here's the thing.
You lose 20 miles an hour off your shot.
I can see right through you. You're trying to mask that as like a legitimate, not homer concern, but in reality, you're actually just hoping that that's what happens.
No.
You planned that. That wasn't very nice. But no, so the update is that was the update from them, from the players' mouths. From here until now, we had not heard anything from the players themselves, from Taves and Kane. That is their update, and that they are willing to give a short list of teams. But that's not even to say that they're willing to actually waive their no movement clause.
All right, Joel, I'm going to need you to do something for me.
Do you need me to do 2 minutes for roughing?
I need you to put 2 minutes on the clock for me.
Oh, okay. I was like, yeah, okay. I can do that.
Cue that up.
Are you ready?
You know the drill.
5, 4, 3, 1, go.
So as we teased earlier in the show, the NHL has a bit of a revenue problem. And additionally, they have a bit of a viewership problem. It was released last week that NHL employment is down considerably. That the average audience per night has gone down very dramatically from last season to this season. And there are a bunch of reasons for that. But the biggest one that stands out for me is the variety of viewing options. And that is whether the game is on ESPN or whether it's on TNT, whether you're streaming on ESPN Plus or Hulu, or you have to try and figure out something else because the game is blacked out. One of the biggest problems that the NHL has is not having a unified platform where it is consistent on where you can go to find the games. Specifically, if you're going to be partnering with ESPN Plus, it makes so much sense that all of the games are there. I get it. You still want to have your regional blackouts, and that every sport does that more or less to some degree, where such and such percentage of tickets aren't sold. Game is blacked out in that market to try and encourage fans to go to the game because you're not going to be able to see it otherwise. Does that work? I don't know. I haven't seen the metrics to see do the blackout numbers work. But what I do know is that this sort of a drop is due in large part to people's inability to consistently find the games, to count on them to not be blacked out, or when they're paying for premium packages on their cable networks, or they're paying for ESPN Plus and they still can't get the games anyway. That's a big problem. And that's something the NHL absolutely needs to address. It can't wait until the offseason to get this figured out either. They absolutely need to lock down what is the streaming platform we're going to use. Use that. There are too many other options, less than legal options as well, where you try and find a pirated stream. You go watch there. And the NHL loses money on that.
Pirate streams, Dan.
I'm not saying I do. I'm saying people do.
I agree. The one thing, though, I hate blackouts, the regional blackouts, just as much as everybody else does. HP. It's almost as if someone predicted this on this show.
It's him.
Was it him?
Hi. He's the predictor. It's him.
Yeah, Taylor. Yeah, I'm a Swiftie. What up?
Yep.
The one thing, though, too, still, and with Sinclair Valley. Oh, my God, all this Minnesota crap. Stop talking Minnesota.
Dude, that's not Minnesota. That's across the league. The Blue Jackets run on Bally. The Blues run on Bally. A lot of teams run on Bally.
I've heard 3 irrelevant teams named. No, I'm joking.
This guy wants to talk about Hawks and irrelevant teams and not consider them. Whatever.
Hey, Comcast is more irrelevant than anyway. The blackout thing for regional blackouts or whatever, though, while I blame the NHL 99% of all this and it's on them to figure it out, the one thing I will at least devil's advocate is that some of that isn't in their control because it's the teams that have those regional TV deals with whatever it is. So like the Blackhawks with NBC Sports Chicago, or I know the Blues for a while were doing, what was it called? It was Fox Sports Midwest, I think is what it was called.
Yeah, Fox Sports. Well, because it was Fox Sports Midwest, Fox Sports North, whatever, and then the Fox Sports Network became Bally for that coverage.
And for a while,
HT saying here, paid for Bally Sports and can't watch it outside of his zip code.
Yeah.
Which is another problem, the geolocation on whether you can or can't watch, especially on Bally Sports Plus. Like, that's really dumb.
And that's what I'm like, that's where, like, I agree. That's bullshit. But part of it too, small part, is like, those local teams, if they have a deal with any local cable channel, whatever it is, the league has to take that into account for all the teams, because then, if they're not taking that into account, then that's taking away from that local network, and it just becomes this whole fiasco.
It's a big problem, and they need to figure it out.
Totally agree, but that's
figure it out.
Figure it out.
When we figured out that's it for tonight's show. Thank you to everybody who watched. We had a ton of comments throughout the show tonight. Thank you to everybody who joined us live. Always a blast when we can get that live viewer reaction as well. So keep those comments coming.
People from Chicago, help me out. I get bombarded by Minnesotans. Help me out here.
That's a you problem. Be
better.
Not a
me problem. What?
The Hawks. I'm telling the Hawks to be better. Actually, don't be better.
No, please. No, be worse. Be worse. Just this be worse.
Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow on Twitter at PodSnipeCelly, and on Facebook you can search PodSnipeCelly there as well. We will be back next week, same time, 7:00 p.m. A Valentine's Day episode, but we'll see how that goes.
So much love. Let's go anti. We got heated during this episode at times.
We haven't gotten this heated in a while.
Let's do that again just to contrast Valentine's Day.
But that's it for tonight's show. Thanks, everybody. He's Joel. I'm Dan. Enjoy the rest of your night, everybody.
It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. You were supposed to end the thing there.
Nope. You started singing. I'm going to let that one roll.
It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me.